Welcome back, painting friends. Today we're going to paint a fun polka dot giraffe. Colors you're going to need: red, pink, orange, yellow, blue, black, brown, and white. I always keep my favorite 4 brushes at the studio table: my 1-inch flat brush, my 10, 6, and 1 round brush. Don't forget to have a cup of water and a rag for keeping those brushes clean. And if you like what you're seeing here today, make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Painting with a Purpose, so that you are kept up to date on all of the tutorials. I always like to coat my canvas in a solid color to start. With our giraffe, I'm just going to use white. And yes, my canvas had a smudge on it. Okay, we're just going to paint right over it, not a big deal. So paint your entire background white, and then we'll add in that cute giraffe. With my background finished, I'm not going to wait to draw my giraffe. I'm going to just jump right in. But the brown that I have seems pretty dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that brown, I'm going to add quite a bit of white to it. And I'm going to grab a little bit of yellow also and add it to there. So I'm going to take that brown, yellow, and white and kind of mix it together till I get a color that I like for my giraffe. So I'm looking for a light yellowish brown color. Once I have that perfect color, I'm going to go ahead and draw out my giraffe. So right up here is where his head's going to be. And I'm going to start off by making it 2 little bumps, right? So a bump here and a bump there, okay? This is going to be kind of his eye socket, and this is going to be his jaw. From there, I can just kind of bring that jawline down into a curve. Okay, so we're going to imagine that right here, we're going to have an eye. See that? And then on the other side, we're going to kind of make it significantly wider because giraffes, they got big noggins, okay? We're going to copycat the same thing out. Now I do think I want his nose to be just a little bit longer, so I'm just going to kind of extend that. His other eye is going to be over in this area. We're not coloring those in yet. Now, at the top of his head, we're going to make those 2 little bumps, okay? And you might not see them all the way because they're going to go off the top of the canvas, but we want to make sure we can put them on there. He also has really big floppy ears that start just below this section that jumps up. And these big floppy ears are going to kind of come out to a point and then go back in. Same thing over here. You're not going to see the whole thing, and that's okay. But we still want to make sure it's on there. And then, of course, that super long giraffe neck. So right here between his cheekbone and where his mouth is, we're just going to take that line and we're just going to kind of make it come down at a curve. And then from right here behind his ear, we're going to do the same thing, and it's just going to make sure that it stays a little bit fatter as it goes down to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and paint this whole area in with that really nice light brown color. And again, I'm doing it right now because I want that white paint in the background to still be a little bit wet, to lighten that color up even more. We're going to paint this whole space in that light brown color. Let's let our base coat dry, and we come back, we will add in all of those little giraffe details. With the dry background, it is now time to add in some of these cute little giraffe details. I'm going to start with his eyes. So I've got my number 6 round brush and some black paint. And so over here for this eye, I'm going to make a big smiley face, just a big curved line that goes right across there. These eyes are going to be pretty big. And then the top is going to kind of come up to like a gentle triangle point and then back down. And then over here, we're not going to see the eye as much because the head's just slightly turned. So I'm going to kind of follow that line across, and I'm going to make a curved line that goes to the edge of the face. And then I'm just going to make it kind of bump out a little bit. All right, down here on his little nose, again, we're going to add some black down here. So I'm just going to outline this space down here with black. And the top of it is going to be just a small curved line. Now, I don't believe this goes straight from brown to black. So what I'm going to do then is just wipe my brush off and take some brown paint. And I'm going to add a little bit of this brown paint right through here. And I'm just going to kind of pull that black and brown together. Just kind of pulling that up a little bit. I want it to mix just slightly. Once I get a little bit of a blend going on, I'm going to wipe that brush off and grab some more of that brown paint and blend a little bit more. And then I'm going to take some more of that black paint and right down here, kind of blend that black into it. Once those colors are on there, I can go ahead and wash that brush off. And I'm going to go in with that lightest brown color. Just kind of go left to right, all the way down to that snout. There we go. Looks much better. We do have a little bit more detail to add on to that, but we'll do that in just a minute. So I'm now going to take that light brown paint, because if you remember, we added it on while it was a little bit wet. So I'm going to take that light brown paint, and from up here around his eye, I'm just going to kind of make a curved line that kind of comes down to his nose. I'm going to blend that in, what I have going on right there. And pull those colors on up. Then I'm going to add some white to kind of blend that to where the rest of the face color is. Right, up at the top, I'm going to color these in black, and I'm going to make it look like there's like little hairs on it. So watch how I do that. I'm just going to take this number 6 round brush. I'm just going to draw straight lines down at kind of different angles or different lengths so that it's not a solid straight line on the top. And then I'm going to take some of that brown paint with a little bit of black on my brush. And I'm going to do the inside of his ears with just a little bit of a darker brown color. So it's that same brown as we used for his body with a little bit of black paint on my brush. I'm now going to take black paint, and right here along the back of his neck, I'm just going to kind of put his little long hairs back there. And you can make these any color you want. If you want to have, you know, funky, crazy rainbow giraffe, go for it. I mean, totally your choice. But I'm just taking my number 6 round brush and kind of flicking some of these lines out from his neck. And wipe that brush off and go in with some of the brown paint and add some also. Now let's add in his cute little spots. So I'm going to switch to my bigger brush, my number 10 round brush for this, and I'm going to use the plain brown paint. So nothing has been added to this. And his spots, okay, so they are really just kind of organic shapes. So I'm going to follow some of the lines of his body and then just kind of make big old blobs. Now the goal with these is, as you do this, you want them to be close enough that they look like they kind of form around each other. So you want to have like these little avenues. So like that little light space is going to be the same across every one of these little shapes. So make sure as you're doing this that you are keeping in mind that this space in the center should be the same all the way across his body. All right, let's get those spots on there. Let's add some final details before we add in our polka dots. So we're going to start at the top and work our way down. I always like to add some highlights. I'm going to add a little bit of white highlight to the top of his ears. Even maybe just right down here along the bottom of the color part of his ear. Then as far as his eye goes, I'm going to add a white outline right at the bottom. I've got my number 6 round brush. It's my favorite brush for adding highlights. I'm going to do most of the bottom of his eye. And then I'm going to add a nice big white highlight at the front. A small little highlight above it. Wipe that brush off. I'm going to grab some of that black paint because I just imagine this little guy having a lot of eyelashes. So that's way too much black paint. Pay attention, Mary. All right, some black paint. I watered it down just a little bit. And over here on this side, I'm just going to take some really, really, really long lines for eyelashes. Oh yeah, I love that. I'm going to add a small little black line just above his eye. Then moving down his face, I'm going to grab some of that light brown paint I had, and I'm just going to make a curved line here, a curved line here. It looks almost like they could be hearts. It's actually going to be the tip of his nose. And then I'm going to take a little bit of light brown. I'm going to make a bottom lip coming down over here. The top of that nose, I'm going to add just a small little white highlight. Be right along the base too. And then I'm going to take that black and fill in the center part really nice and dark. That black. Wash that brush off really well. I'm going to take some watered down black paint. If you don't like to paint your outlines with black, you can always use a Sharpie with it. But I'm going to outline his ears. thin layer of black paint. And also this side of his head right here. So his head just kind of comes right through here. I'll give it a nice little shadow line. All right, it is time to make your decision. You're either going to add polka dots to this cute little guy, or you're going to call him done now. So if you love your giraffe how he is, leave him. But if you want to add polka dots to your giraffe, that is our next step. I'm going to add some little hairs in his little ear. I just kind of think of things as I go. I'm happy I did that. Okay, let's add some polka dots. So as far as the polka dots go, they are just as much for fun as they are for adding some character to your picture. So the colors I have are yellow, orange, red, pink, blue, black, brown, and white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on my lightest colors first. So I'm going to start in with some yellow, but I'm going to mix some white in with my yellow because my yellow is just really an aggressive color. And I like to use my fingers for this, okay? So in any light area, I might just go in and put some polka dots. And so just going to start off with some yellow and some white polka dots. And then you can really just kind of play from there. I am going to add quite a bit of white to all of my colors because I really do kind of like that muted color on my giraffe. But, you know, I'm probably going to put some like reds down in here where there's going to be a little bit of highlight, maybe some oranges on these spots. Any place you want to put them. I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong answer. I just kind of make it up as I go when I start to put these little dots on there. So have fun with your polka dots. You could slow my video down to kind of really follow along where I put them, but I don't really know where they're going to go yet. Just have some fun with it. Like I said, as far as the polka dots go, you can have as much fun as you want with them. If you do think you get a little too crazy in one area, just take the original color and put some on top of it. So there's a couple of these spots that I think I went just a little too overboard. So I'm just taking that basic brown and kind of adding that in there. But remember, kind of have fun with it. The whole point of the polka dot paintings is to let yourself be a little free. But remember, when you're finished, you need to find a color that's going to show up well on your canvas and sign your name. I always put my initials in the bottom right corner. Make sure that you take a picture of your artwork and you send it to me on my Facebook page, Painting with a Purpose. And make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Painting with a Purpose, so you are kept up to date on all of my tutorials. And remember, as always, stay kind, stay creative, and stay safe. Have a great day, friends. Bye now.